Hey, Nick here. Uh, I guess I have Alvin's disease. Making fun of Alvin because he bought that T-Bird. I think I'm worse than him, actually. I think Alvin has Nick's disease. I bought a 64 and a half convertible Mustang a couple days ago from a guy here in Colorado Springs. Factory D code, which is a 64 and a half. Factory 289 with a 4 barrel. Factory power steering. No air. Has a generator. I pulled it out because I couldn't get the spark plug out. And that's another thing about that generator. It's pretty big. Big generator. And it had this gigantic cover on it. The generator was in here, on the car. And the look at the rubber pads on it are still in damn good condition. They're not like new, but in damn good condition. The more I start looking at this car, it has 58,000 miles on it. So naturally, I thought, well, it's 158. But some old guy owned it, Ken. And but I'm starting to think now, after looking this thing over, that it probably has 58,000 miles on it. And because of how unadulterated this thing is, how unadulterated it is, everything's in place. It's not a perfect car. Not saying it is. Car needs a lot of work. Needs some cosmetics. The center console wood grain is history. The steering wheel's probably cracked. The dash bezel's bad. There's scratches on the dash. The glove box liner's bad. The seat belts they don't work in the back. They're history. I have to have them rebuilt. The seat's got that flaw in it. It looks like somebody took a grinder to it. I don't know what the heck happened there, or a heat gun. Dropped a heat gun on it or something. Who knows what happened in the past. White with a white interior from the factory. This is exactly what I wanted. Drum brakes all the way around. 4-wheel drum. Single cylinder, master cylinder. Nothing has been done to this car. No modifications. No putting an Edelbrock on it. None of this bullshit. With the exception, it has a dual exhaust system that's new. I'm sure the old one was history. And it has a custom auto sound radio, which they did not cut the dash, which is just shocking to me that they didn't do that. I usually butcher the dash and, and they put the valve covers, those stupid chrome valve covers on. But they didn't change anything, It's got the original distributor, the original C4 carburetor, the original linkage setup. Unbelievable, man. Really an unadulterated original car. It's got a few rust spots here and there. Both the driver's side floor pans have rust next to the rockers. The floor pans are not all rusted out, but there's a rust hole on each side, probably about 8 to 10 inches long and about 3 inches wide. Weird. Just this long, skinny rust hole on each side, right next to the rocker. So those have to be fixed. There's a tiny bit of surface rust on the car. I mean, little bubbles here and there, but not a lot, just a few. And there is no rust at all in the frame, anywhere on the car. So as far as I'm concerned, to me, it's fairly rust-free, other than those small items. Car was built in Michigan. It's an F code, built in Michigan. Automatic transmission. It's got a cruise-o-matic, 3-speed cruise-o-matic. You see the neutral safety switch wires are right there. I've been giving it a tune-up. The vacuum advance was bad. I put a used one on, a good used one. Changed the points, condenser and rotor. I'm doing the cap and the plugs now. The plugs are coming out hard. I don't know if they've ever been changed. This is the hardest I've ever had taking plugs out. Now here's number one. Let me zoom in. Not too shabby. It's an Autolite. Here's number two. Here's an Autolite 45 that was originally in there. These came out hard. But you can't get more chocolate brown than that. So this engine's running strong. Now I've only pulled 2 plugs, but not too bad. Had to pull the generator to get access. There was just no access. And this Mickey Mouse thing, I don't know what the hell this is all about. Change the dipstick. I got 100 used T-Bird dipsticks. I'll find something that fits. When I got it, it was low on coolant. I put coolant in it. And it's got a power steering leak. And this has the rack underneath, like the Square Birds. This has the valve, power steering valve and piston underneath the car. It's got that. And it's got a non-air type power steering pump, you know, with the straight up filler tube. All factory. That's all factory. So I got lucky with this car. I got really lucky with this car. I didn't pay a lot for it. I paid, I think I got a really fair price. I didn't pay $10,000 for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you what I paid for it, but I paid over 20 for it. And but these things, you know, coupes are going for over 20 now. It's ridiculous. So I got a good deal on this car because it's an original unadulterated car. That's the same thing with the Cadillacs. Original and unadulterated. And to me, that's everything. That's everything to me. I don't want to, you know, look at, you know, Alvin, for example, with that. He's an artist, but he'll be working on that car for years. And I don't want to do that. I don't have the skills to do that. Alvin does. I wish I did, man. I wish I had the skills to do that. He's really an artist with that metal fabrication he's doing. Unbelievable. I can't deal with rusty cars. I don't have the skills. So these unadulterated cars that have all the right hardware, you know, you can see, look at, none of the bolts have been changed. Everything's factory. Everything's in its place. Nothing's been changed. You know, you just don't see that, especially with a Mustang. You know, everybody wants to make these a race car. You know, they have to do this and Edelbrock this and Edelbrock that. And Edelbrock is shit. Fastest way to destroy the value of your car. Put Edelbrock shit on it. Got the pony interior. It's in good shape. The interior, the door panels, they're in good shape. There's wear. There's scratches on the door there. There's scratches on the glove box, on the dash. The pad is like new. I think they changed it. Nice driving car. Nice driver. It needs it needs some suspension work. It's old. All the suspension is original. It's never been changed, which is another indication that this has 58,000 original miles and not 158. It's got all the original suspension pieces on it. But then somebody put air shocks on it. It's got air shocks on the back because the leaf springs are history. So I'm going to put new leaf springs on it, new shocks, new front suspension, do all that. The top works. The top skin is like new. I have it down, but it's like new, like brand new. So I got this little bit of rust here. Yep, that's got to be fixed. There's one there. When it comes time to paint it, I might do that in the next or during the winter or whatever. I'm going to give this to my wife. This is my wife's car now. I owe her long story. I won't bore you with the details, but I have all the toys and she has an Xterra, you know, so I wanted her to have a nice little Mustang convertible. This is a little car. You know what? Never owned a Mustang. Never owned a convertible Mustang. And this is a little tiny car. It really is. It's just a little putter with a V8. I'm really surprised. Boy, you're in a Thunderbird and you jump into one of these and you realize just how small these things are. And you sit really low in it. The seats have very little padding. They're pretty thin. And you sit, I'm sure the foam is bad probably too. It's been compressed over the years, but the seats are pretty thin. They're like sports car seats, you know, like in a Triumph or something. And CJ Pony Parts, they have kits where you can put thicker foam and you can really build them up and have them more comfortable. But then you're hitting the steering wheel. If you're sitting any higher than you are, you're digging into the steering wheel. So it would be nice to do that, but I won't do that. They probably need new pads and just be recovered again down the road. I want her to enjoy it this summer. So I'm doing the tune-up. Ow, hit my head on the tire. I got the car under the 58. I'm working on it. It's all I can do, you know. I hope it doesn't leak too much oil inside the Mustang. So I didn't take a picture of when I bought it. I didn't videotape it. I was busy looking at it. I wanted to concentrate on that, you know. The old guy, he had a stroke. He hasn't driven it in years. I kind of felt sorry for him, Ken. A nice man. And he just couldn't, he's not the original owner. He bought it from a couple that were also very old when he bought it and couldn't drive it anymore. But he bought it in 91 from them. So they had it until 91, then he bought it in 91 and had it until now, a couple days ago. And so I'm the third owner. So yeah, 64 and a half Mustang convertible, 289, Cruise-O-Matic. Automatic. Pretty cool, huh? So I'll keep you updated on this as it goes along. Okay? Thanks for watching, you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.